Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash, the channel where glossy PR fades, and what you're left with is raw, unfiltered, real-world car reviews. If you're new here, buckle up. We dig past the showroom shine, skip the dealership drama, and bring you brutal honesty straight from the pavement. Today, we're diving into a truck that's been quietly evolving, rarely flashy, but always steady at the 2026 Honda Ridgeline. Exterior. Now, you might not think of the Ridgeline when the words pickup truck and power come up in the same sentence, and that's fair. But Honda has been playing the long game, refining this mid-size unibody warrior over the years. And for 2026, they've decided it's time the Ridgeline spoke up a little louder. Let's start from the outside because let's be honest, first impressions matter, especially in the pickup segment where masculinity, strength, and ruggedness are currency. The 2026 Ridgeline sports a noticeably bolder front fascia. Honda's taken some notes from its rugged TrailSport sub-brand and applied them to the overall design. The grille is now wider, more aggressive, and flanked by reworked LED headlights with sharper daytime running lights that finally give it some presence. It's not trying to be a Ford Raptor, but it's not apologizing for being a Honda either. The bumper has been lifted slightly, giving better approach angles for light off-roading. Functional vents improve airflow, while some subtle black cladding gives it a tougher visual character without screaming mall crawler. From the side, the profile remains unmistakably Ridgeline, still riding on a unibody frame, which means you get smoother curves rather than the bolt-on, riveted look of body-on-frame competitors like the Tacoma or Ranger. The fender flares are a bit more pronounced now, and the wheel options are more exciting, especially on the TrailSport and Black Edition trims. 18-inch rugged wheels wrapped in all-terrain rubber give the truck a bit of grit it used to lack. There's still that signature integrated bed design, flowing naturally from the cab rather than looking tacked on like traditional trucks. And yes, it still has that unique dual-action tailgate, opening both downwards and swinging out sideways. If you're a fan of clever utility, Honda still delivers. Move to the rear, and it's a cleaner but tougher update. Tail lights are now full LED with a more modern light signature, and the tailgate now features a more chiseled, block-letter Ridgeline embossing, a nod to competitors, perhaps, but tastefully done. The bumper integrates corner steps this time, finally catching up to some long-standing GM convenience features. Underneath, there's still that in-bed trunk, a Honda hallmark. Whether you're storing tools, groceries, or turning it into a cooler at a tailgate party, it's one of those features you don't know you need until you've used it once. Interior. Step inside, and the 2026 Ridgeline is surprisingly refined. Honda took criticism seriously, especially those saying it felt more like a pilot with a bed than a real truck. So now, the dashboard features tougher materials, soft touch in all the right places, and more upright, squared-off lines to reinforce that rugged appeal. The infotainment screen is now a 12.3-inch higher-resolution touchscreen, finally up to modern standards, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto across the board. Navigation is quicker, snappier, and Honda's UI, while not the flashiest, is finally smooth enough not to frustrate. There's a fully digital 10.2-inch gauge cluster behind the wheel, customizable and clean, showing everything from trail mode to work split to trip economy. The center console has been redesigned to feel less minivan-like, bigger grab handles, larger cup holders, wireless charging pad that actually holds your phone in place, and finally, USB-C ports. Seating remains a high point. The Ridgeline still delivers car-like comfort with wide, supportive front seats and great visibility. Rear seat passengers enjoy generous legroom, better than most in the segment, and the underseat storage remains one of the most practical in the class. Whether you're commuting or hauling tools, there's an everyday ease to the Ridgeline's cabin that's hard to beat. Performance. Under the hood, the 2026 Ridgeline sticks with its trusty 3.5-liter V6 engine, delivering 285 horsepower and 262 pounds-feet of torque. It's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission that's been fine-tuned for smoother shifts and better towing dynamics. No turbo, no hybrid, no plug-in just yet, but what you do get is Honda reliability, a refined power band, and predictable acceleration. It's not going to snap your neck off the line, but it's smooth, consistent, and more than enough for your weekend trailer or off-grid camping trip. Speaking of which, towing capacity is still 5,000 pounds, which may not wow on paper, but for the vast majority of Ridgeline buyers, it's more than capable. Payload capacity hovers around 1,600 pounds, and Honda's all-wheel drive system has been reworked for better traction response. There's a new trail mode for better torque vectoring on loose surfaces, and the Ridgeline TrailSport trim gets a mild suspension lift with beefier skid plates. Still not a rock crawler, but definitely not a soft-roader anymore either. Fuel economy remains class competitive. Honda estimates 19 mpg city and 24 mpg highway, thanks to improved aerodynamics and that 10-speed auto working smarter, not harder. Let's talk price. The base sport trim starts at around $41,000, which makes it one of the pricier entries in the segment. But keep in mind, you're getting a crew cab, AWD, and a lot of features standard. The RTL trim bumps it up to about $44,000, adding leather, better sound, and some luxury touches. Go for the TrailSport or Black Edition, and you're staring at $47,000 to $49,000, depending on options. Yes, that's higher than a base Ranger or Tacoma, but again, Honda's positioning the Ridgeline for those who value comfort, refinement, and daily usability as much as if not more than a raw workhorse toughness. So what's the verdict? The 2026 Honda Ridgeline still won't win over the hardcore pickup purists, and that's okay. It's not trying to be something it's not. What it is, though, is a smart, comfortable, and uniquely practical truck that continues to stand out in a sea of body-on-frame clones. The updated styling finally gives it the street cred it lacked. The improved tech and cabin refinement make it a legitimate alternative to crossovers. And the performance, while familiar, remains bulletproof. If you want to bash rocks and mold, there are other choices. But if you want to drive your truck every day, haul on the weekends, take a few light trails, and enjoy SUV-like comfort and traffic, the Ridgeline makes an incredibly strong case for itself. It's a niche truck, but for the right buyer, it's absolutely the right one. That's it for today's review. If you found this helpful, entertaining, or even just brutally honest, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next unsugarcoated take from Car Flash. Got questions about the Ridgeline? Think it's underrated or overpriced? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. Until next time, drive safe, stay curious, and keep it real.